There is a strange thing about happiness that nobody talks about. Most people spend years chasing it. A better job, a better relationship, more money, more freedom. And yet some of the unhappiest people in the world already have those things, because happiness is rarely destroyed by major tragedies. More often, it's stolen by tiny moments. A stressful email, a negative thought, a bad memory, a conversation that keeps replaying in your head. Small moments, small reactions, small spirals. And the frightening part is that most of them happen automatically. You don't decide to ruin your mood. Your mind simply falls into an old pattern. But what if I told you that many of those patterns can be interrupted in less than 10 seconds? Not fixed, not erased. Interrupted. Because sometimes 10 seconds is all it takes to stop a bad moment from becoming a bad day. Today, I want to share 5 simple mental resets. Not motivational tricks. Not toxic positivity. Just 5 small interruptions that help you step out of stress, regain perspective, and return to yourself. Several years ago, psychologists asked participants to write down 3 things they appreciated each day. Nothing extraordinary, not life-changing events. Just 3 simple things. A warm meal, a friend, a quiet morning. What surprised researchers wasn't the exercise itself. It was how quickly people's attention began to change. Because attention is like a flashlight. Where it points becomes your reality. Most of us spend our days unconsciously searching for problems. What's missing? What's broken? What's uncertain? And eventually, the brain becomes very good at finding exactly that. The Stoics understood this long before modern psychology. They believed suffering often comes not from events themselves, but from where the mind chooses to focus. So here's the interruption. The next time you feel overwhelmed, pause. Name 3 things that are okay right now. Not amazing. Just okay? Maybe you're breathing comfortably. Maybe the sun is coming through the window. Maybe someone you love is still in your life. The goal isn't to ignore problems. The goal is to remind your brain that problems are not the entire picture. 10 seconds. 3 observations. A different perspective. Imagine someone waiting for difficult news. Their shoulders tighten. Their breathing becomes shallow. Their jaw locks. Now imagine someone laughing with close friends. Their posture changes instantly. What's fascinating is that the relationship works both ways. Your emotions influence your body, but your body also influences your emotions. Researchers call this embodied cognition. Your brain is constantly reading signals from your physical state. When your body behaves as though you're under threat, your brain often follows. That's why a simple posture reset can feel surprisingly powerful. Sit upright. Relax your shoulders. Take 1 slow breath. Unclench your jaw. Not because posture magically creates happiness, but because it sends a new message to your nervous system. The message is simple. You are not being chased. You are not in danger. You can soften. And in a world where many people spend entire days physically bracing for battles that never come, that reminder is more important than ever. Have you ever noticed that anxiety shrinks your world? When you're stressed, your attention narrows. You stop seeing possibilities. You stop seeing beauty. You stop seeing anything beyond the problem directly in front of you. This isn't a character flaw. It's biology. When humans perceive danger, vision naturally becomes more focused. Thousands of years ago, that helped us survive. Today, it keeps us trapped inside overthinking. So try this. Look away from your screen. Find something far away. A tree, a building, the horizon, and hold your gaze there for 10 seconds. It seems almost too simple. Yet something remarkable happens. Your awareness expands. Your breathing slows. Your nervous system receives a subtle signal. The threat is not immediate. You are safe enough to look beyond it. And sometimes, that's exactly what overthinking steals from us. Perspective, not solutions. Perspective. Because when perspective returns, solutions often follow. A young monk once asked his teacher how to stop feeling angry. The teacher smiled and replied, "I first. Stop calling yourself angry." The student looked confused. "What else should I call it?" The teacher answered. "Notice that anger is visiting you. It is not who you are." Modern neuroscience arrived at a surprisingly similar conclusion. When people accurately label emotions, activity in the brain's alarm system decreases. The feeling doesn't disappear, but it becomes easier to manage. Most people say, "I am anxious. I am overwhelmed. I am stressed." But what if you change the language? Instead of "I am anxious," try, "I notice anxiety." Instead of "I am overwhelmed," try, "I notice overwhelm." It's a small shift. Yet, it creates distance. You stop becoming the emotion. You start observing it. And observation is where freedom begins. The moment you can observe a feeling, you are no longer completely controlled by it. There is one question that has helped countless people make better decisions. Not because it's magical, because it creates space between impulse and action. The question is, what would my future self thank me for doing right now? Notice how different that feels from asking, "What do I feel like doing?" Your current mood might want comfort, avoidance, distraction, revenge. But your future self usually wants something else. A conversation, a walk, a deep breath, a little patience, one more attempt. The happiest version of you is not someone who never struggles. It's someone who consistently chooses responses over reactions. And for 10 seconds, you can borrow their perspective. You can pause, listen, and act accordingly. That tiny pause may not seem important, but entire lives are shaped by small decisions made in difficult moments. Happiness is often misunderstood. People imagine it as a destination, a place they arrive after achieving enough. But real happiness behaves differently. It lives in moments. Moments when you notice what's still good, moments when you relax your shoulders, moments when you widen your perspective, moments when you acknowledge a feeling instead of fighting it, moments when you choose wisdom over impulse. None of these moments take very long. Most of them take less than 10 seconds. And yet they have the power to change the direction of an entire day. So the next time your mind begins to spiral, don't try to control everything. Just interrupt the pattern. 10 seconds may not solve your problems, but it might stop your problems from becoming your identity. And sometimes, that's where real happiness begins. If this message resonated with you, stay for the next video. Because the quality of your life is rarely determined by the big decisions. It's determined by the small moments most people never notice.